tear it down. You look at the Rockets. That is the definition of a team that has to be torn down. That's accurate as well. Focusing on development. Detroit Pistons. They've got Dennis Smith Jr. starting. If that's not focusing on development, I don't know what is. Hey, what's going on? Quis here from Sports Vibes TV. And in this video, I just wanted to look over this graph I found online. Now, I know the Spurs beat the brakes off us last night, and some people might need a little something positive just to watch and check out to kind of get your mind off that. So I think I found something that can help. Now, let's jump right into the actual chart, right into the actual photo. And as you can see, the way this chart is titled, it's called NBA winning by age. You can see along the x-axis, you have average weighted age by minutes played. And along the y-axis, you have winning percentage. And I think what's cool about this graph is, as you see, each quadrant is labeled. So they have winning with youth, win now mode, tear it down, and focusing on development. And the way each team has played this season almost perfectly matches the quadrant that they fell into. So if you look at the Knicks, a lot of people are kind of upset when it comes to Tibbs and his rotations. But as you can see, the New York Knicks, our average weighted age by minutes played is only around 24.6, 24.7. And, you know, some people might say, how we're playing all these older veterans above some of the younger guys. But you have to remember, a lot of these players that are logging a lot of minutes, they aren't that old. You know, Julius Randle's 26. Nerlens Noel, I think he's also 26. RJ's what, 20? Kevin Knox. Well, Kevin Knox ain't really logging minutes like that. But when he does play, he's still young. He's 21. Obi's young, 23. IQ's what, 20, 21? So we have a lot of young players that are still getting minutes on this Knicks team. And I know I've been upset with Tibbs and his rotations because I feel like we can get a lot more from some of the young guys we are playing, like a Kevin Knox. Frank Nitti is starting to get into the rotation a little bit, but there can still be more done when it comes to Tibbs and playing some of our young guys. But if you look at this graph, I mean, look who the Knicks are right in the same ballpark with, right in the same area. You got the Grizzlies and the Hornets. And it might sound crazy, for you to hear me say this, but I don't think that's bad company. And the Hornets right now have a pretty good young roster, and they got some vets sprinkled in there as well. They've got Gordon Hayward, they've got Terry Rozier. Both of those two players, they're leading their team in scoring. But you also have the young presence. You have the LaMelos. You have the Devontae Graham. I think he's still injured, but he'll be back. You have P.J. Washington, Miles Bridges. You've got a lot of young players on that team that are also contributing. And for the Knicks well, right now it's a little outdated too, because after the Spurs loss, we're right at 500. So I think that's going to be great company for the Knicks when you look at these teams and their current trajectory. Look at the Memphis Grizzlies. They have a Ja Morant. They have Jaren Jackson, even though he hasn't played yet. He's been out. They have young players on these teams that they see a core that they can build around. And I feel like the Knicks are in the same boat, and we just have to stay the course. Hopefully Tibbs can stop letting these younger guys play a little bit more. I would have been happy if we were, we're 500 now, but if you could have inched that down just a little bit closer to the Grizzlies, that would have meant Kevin Knox is getting some more minutes, Obi's getting some more minutes. I'd have been a little bit happier with that. But, the team as it is right now, they're playing hard. They had that one little stinker against the Spurs last night. Hopefully that's the last time we see a performance like that, because that was brutal to watch. Did not make getting through my work shift any easier. It was brutal, especially that third quarter. I don't know what's going on with this team coming out of halftime. Tibbs got to figure it out. But I just wanted to bring this up to you because to me, it seems very accurate. Look at the win now mode teams. You've got the Lakers and you've got the Clippers. Clearly, both those teams are in win now. Same thing with the Bucks. The Bucks have to make Giannis happy. Giannis signed that extension, but who's to say Giannis can't up one day and say, hey, really don't want to be here. Tear it down. You look at the Rockets. That is the definition of a team that has to be torn down. That's accurate as well. Focusing on development. Detroit Pistons. They've got Dennis Smith Jr. starting. If that's not focusing on development, I don't know what is. And then you see some of these other teams that are focusing on development and still trying to figure ways to win, trying to still be competitive between the Cavs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. What I think is a little off is the Hawks. Hawks really aren't focusing on development. They're kind of underperforming right now. That's the only thing I would say is a little bit off with this would be the Atlanta Hawks. So you guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Once again, I'm Quis, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.
Uh-huh.